Chris Paul is the only player remaining from the 2005 NBA draft class. He was the number 4 pick, and he's averaging 9 points per game this season. This chart shows all 1,320 draft picks from the last 22 years in the NBA, and if they're still in the league, how many points per game they're averaging. So if we zoom up here, you can see how most of the players drafted in the last few years are still in the league. Victor Wembanyama and Brandon Miller are the only 2 players from the last 2 draft classes averaging over 20 points per game. If we scroll down, you can see how players with a few years of experience tend to average more points per game. Once we reach the 2018 draft class, we find Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who was the 11th pick, and he's leading the league in scoring this season with nearly 33 per game. But as we continue to scroll, you can see how quickly players remaining in the league are thinning out. Just 10 years back, and we're already down to 18 players out of the 60 who were drafted. Moving on though, when we get to 2010, you can see that there's surprisingly just 1 player left from that draft class, Paul George. Then there's a few more players in 2009, 2008, 2007, but then in 2006 we're back down to 1 with Kyle Lowry, and then 1 in 2005 with Chris Paul. And then there's no players left from 2004 before we finally reach 2003 with LeBron James and his 25 points per game. Alright, I'll post this whole image on Patreon if you're interested in looking at it more closely.